What's going on, the good people of YouTube? How you darn? How you darn? We are going to get into a mock draft today. I see y'all in the chat. Daniel Macy, our countdown expert, says 44 days until kickoff. It is coming quick. That's what she said. Okay. What's up, Yeet Man? How y'all doing? Why is my speaker going through? Okay, here we go. Hopefully y'all having a good week. Ready for it to get better. What's up, Gator? Welcome in. Badaki says, are you late already? What's up, Badaki? Welcome in. But yeah, we will be doing a 12-teamer here, guys. That's just the most standard format for people. It's the best way for us all to practice. Hopefully that's okay. But we will be doing a mock draft. So if you guys want to join me in today's mock draft, very, very simple way for you to do so. The first step is to join the Discord. I'll put the Discord in the chat here, and if you are watching this later, it's in the description as well. But once you're in the Discord, you will see on the left hand side of the screen a Fantasyland tab with the orange footballs, and in the announcements tab is where I will drop the link to join. So I'll just say it'll be right here, y'all. All right, so that's where the link is going to be. I'll give everyone a little second to gain their bearings. And we'll get into this thing. What's up, Cole? How you darn? How you darn? Gator says, already at 13 likes. That's right, guys. We have a like goal of 50 today. If we do reach 50, I'll pop off a second mock draft for you guys. So thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. But let's go ahead and put this link in the chat for you. Just recently released a video, and it's awesome to see the response from that. You guys have been great this offseason on this channel, helping us get rolling, and I've been doing everything I can to pump out really good content for you. The #1 draft strategy in fantasy this year. Released that about a day ago, and I wanted to talk about it on our last stream, but I wanted you guys to see the video itself. And we'll try and outwork that today if the board falls in a way that it allows us to outwork it in that way. What's up, Styles? What's up? Welcome in. Welcome in. What's up, 369? Badaki says, I finally got in. Is Badaki actually in the mock with us? He is actually in the mock with us. Be on your holiday, okay? I'm just kidding. What have you been doing with your family, Badaki? Let us know. All right. So we still have a couple. We have one spot left, which is a little surprising. Oh yes. Oh no, we don't. Okay, so we are full, guys. This is going to be one quarterback. This is going to be PPR. This is going to be tight end premium. And the roster spots, we've got 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 3 flex spots. Okay, so let's get this going in 3, 2, 1. Styles is on the clock as CMC goes off the board. Then Tyreek Hill, CD Lamb, as in CD's nuts. Got him. All right. Let's do this thing. Let's do this thing. Let's do this thing. But Aki, give us a list of your top 5 things you've done so far on holiday. That's what the people want to know. What's up, Sunraker? Welcome in. All right, so we see CMC, Hill, Lamb, and Chase all off the board in the first 4 picks. No surprises there. That's very common as to, you know, how your drafts are probably going to go. That shouldn't be a surprise to any of us. And Badaki, I was worried that Badaki was about to get auto-picked. He probably had his queue up. But Amon-Ra St. Brown off the board, then Justin Jefferson as well. Hey, big love to everybody who's showing love to the draft strategy video. I put a lot of time and effort into that, and it's great to see it pay off. You know, this channel always takes a while to get going in the off season, but you guys are really helping us pump it out, and we're trying our absolute best to make the best possible content for you. So here at the 108, I will be taking AJ Brown. Again, we will look at the strategy. We're going to try and follow the strategy that we talked about to you guys on that video. And because of your support, we have been able to hire a video editor. He'll start full-time on next week. And that's going to allow us to take more time into the videos that we make, provide better content for you guys. And again, it was all possible because of your support. You know, when you use our underdog code land when you sign up, when you you know, buy the Dynasty Rookie Draft Guide that we offer on the Flock Fantasy website, when you buy a team review on the Flock Fantasy website, when you super chat, all that, all the support when it comes together, it's meant that we've been able to hire people on to improve the site. So we appreciate you guys big time. Thank you so much for that. As the first round's about to end and we see so far 3 running backs and all others are wide receivers. There goes Saquon Barkley at the 112. So we get 4 running backs and 8 receivers every single time. I'm not going to say every single time, but it feels like so far, every single time we have done a mock draft, it's been 8 receivers and 4 running backs in round 1. Absolutely obsessed with the start from Cole here at the 111. Love the idea of going wide receiver I can trust, then a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs. I think that's an incredible start for your team. And let's see what Dan the Man's going to do here at the 204. He's got lots of good options available in front of him. Devontae Adams at the 201. Yeet Man, talk to us about Devontae Adams, Yeet Man. What you thinking? I mean, I'm not saying it's a wrong pick. All I'm saying is it's early based off what I have seen recently. Okay, so Dan the Man unfortunately spoils our strategy. That's really what we wanted to do, was to grab Jonathan Taylor here with A.J. Brown, but Dan the Man spoils that. And probably Marvin Harrison's the right pick here. So that's what we're going to do. And important to note that, okay, Sleeper's freaking out right now. Important to note that in the video I made for you guys yesterday, I very clearly stated that the worst thing you can do when you're looking up strategies this offseason for fantasy football is to stick so strongly to a strategy that you don't draft the best available player. So you can see that's what I did just then. I really wanted to pair A.J. Brown with a Gibbs or a Taylor, but unfortunately that wasn't available to me. So I don't want to force a strategy just to force a strategy. I felt like Marvin was the better player there. So ultimately, like I said, just be careful that you're not forcing strategies and not letting the board fall to you, okay? All right, Sleeper's being a little buggy, guys, so I would suggest everybody refresh their screen as we see Henry and Kyron come off the board. What's up, Daniel? He says traded away Ayuk and Njoku for a 3rd round pick for Tank Dell and Dalton Kincaid. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. What's up, Terry? He says traded JT to acquire Cup, Najee, and Rice. I like that if Rice isn't suspended. That's understandable, Gator. Michael Gallup is retiring. How will the fantasy community recover? You know what I mean? That's what we got to ask ourselves. How will the fantasy community recover? I don't know. What's up, Albert? What's Gucci? Welcome in, my man. Yeet Man says Adams is very consistent, even with bad quarterback play. Now he's got an upgrade in Minshew. Is it Minshew or AOC? What do you guys think? I'm hearing a lot of AOC talk over there in Vegas. So NMB goes heavy on the Miami offense to start his draft. I don't hate it, but obviously, ideally, you would try and spread your seed a little bit. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be saying stuff like that. That's ridiculous. Travis Etienne at the 303. What a start! Now, I'm not someone who's going to ever take quarterback early, but like I'm imagining this team with, I don't know, like a different wide receiver there, or maybe another running back and Etienne. I guess Allen's not a bad pick considering what was available to him. Like I said, guys, 50 likes is the goal for today. If we reach 50 likes, I'll pop a second mock draft off for you. Do me a favor, hit that like button. AJ Dillon's in the best shape of his life. What's up, Adam? Says, dude, I was here the whole time and it made me pick Josh Allen. That's okay. It's okay. But Aki says he's spending time with family. They are getting to know Brooklyn, just eating food, pool, and vibing. What's up, Cole? After hours. That's right. All right, so Mixon off the board at the 305. Have to say that's a little earlier than I've seen Mixon go. Again, I'm not saying it's the wrong move. I'm just saying it's earlier than what I have seen him go. Okay, so at this point in the draft, yeah, this is interesting. We started AJ Brown and Marvin. We're going to go ahead and grab Josh Jacobs. We're not as scared of Jacobs as a lot of people out there. I do still think he's on the best offense he's ever been a part of. I think he's going to have a chip on his shoulder. He's going to want to be much better than he was last year. He's going to take his training more seriously. He wants to prove that he was worth his contract. And I think he falls into 10 touchdowns in that offense personally. So I'm going to take my anchor round 2 strategy and just implement it maybe into round 3. Again, let the board fall to you in ways that make sense. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't force a strategy ever. What's up, Spencer? He says, 10-team Superflex League. I just traded Justin Jefferson for T, a 25, 26, 27 first-round picks. I don't mind that. I mean, it depends on where those picks end up. Like, if you told me every single one of those picks are late firsts, I don't like it. But it'll take some time, right? Joel says, I need more NCAA rebuild in my life. Yeah, I probably won't be live today. I got to prep a bunch of content for you guys today. And also, our video editor is on holiday. So I got to edit all the videos this week. But tomorrow, by this time tomorrow, I will have finished all the videos. And I'll stream after tomorrow's stream on Dynasty, if that makes sense. But, okay, so this has gone pretty well for us so far. Quarterbacks and tight ends have gone off the board. That is perfect. Oh, my gosh. Y'all are making this a difficult decision for me. Okay, we aren't going to get too cute. We're going to grab Malik Neighbors as our wide receiver 3. We've got 2 rookie receivers, I just realized, but 2 guys that I think are going to get a ridiculously high target share. 2 guys that are uber talented. I mean, could I have just drafted Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson? Maybe. Probably not. Probably not. Most likely no. But, yeah. What's up, Dominic Toretto? Says, I traded CeeDee Lamb for Neighbors, McConkey, in early first. It really depends on what your format is there, my man. Like, if you're telling me you're in a start 8 league, then I think you should have kept CeeDee Lamb, but format's everything. And, you know, as much as I talked about strategy in this video that we released, I am going to release another video, and I think I'm going to call it the secret to winning fantasy football this year. And we're going to just highlight specifically why your format is so important. But Aki says he's going to have a lot of Nico and Mixon on his team this year. Adam says Cole's team looks scary, he says. He's got Mahomes, Wilson, Gibbs, Laporta. What's up, NMB? Says, I don't care what anyone says. A-Chain is just cheaper Gibbs. Let's see. Let's see, man. Time will tell. Gator says, didn't want a third running back yet, so went between Dell and Andrews. Thoughts? Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I think you can make a case in a tight end premium that the tight ends might be safer than Dell. If Neighbors was off the board, I think I probably would have leaned one of those tight ends myself, but that doesn't mean it's the wrong pick. So Styles going a true anchor RB start here, not a round 2 anchor, but going with Ayuk, Evans, Moore, and Zay to start. Alvin Kamara off the board in the 5th round. I'm releasing a video soon about Alvin Kamara. Really, really like that pick myself. Yeah, Style says, didn't know what wide receivers to go to at that turn. To be honest, guys, I absolutely hate the 101 this year. I hate the 101 with a passion. I mean, we jokingly released a video, you know, with the strategy and talked about how the 101's been cursed for the past 5 years, and that's true. In the last 5 years, the 101 has never finished top 6 at its position, and only one time in the past 5 years has it finished top 12. It's been cursed. But the reason, the true reason I don't like the 101 is because of the options you're left with on the edge. It feels like you're always reaching, and no one feels like they're in the right tier that you're taking advantage of. So that's why I'm not a huge fan of the 101 personally. But here we are. I think Kyle Pitts is the pick for me. You know, he felt like he was in a tier on his own. No wide receivers really standing out there that I don't think I can get on the comeback. Shout out to Kim K. And as far as running backs, I feel good about our anchor right now with Jacobs, anchor round 3. As James Conner comes off the board at the 5'10". The Raiders have placed Michael Gallup on retired list. Hey, let's give a big round of applause to Michael Gallup, Raiders legend, in the chat. Am I right? Happy retirement. I mean, look, he's accomplished more in his life than I ever will. Obviously, he'll probably made more money than I ever will. But it's all love. It's all jokes. It's all fun. Hopefully, people know that. All right. So James Conner, David Montgomery, Terry McLaurin off the board. Ramondre Stevenson. What's Mexi Madden going to do here? His first running back was James Conner after starting Nakua, London, Hurts, Kelsey, Conner. Let's see here. Let's see. Hollywood Brown is the pick at the 603. And then Evan Ingram. That makes me feel better about taking a tight end. I was about to say, like, am I really going to take a tight end and then look like a fool on the comeback? All right, so based off the way this draft is falling, man, I really feel like I'd be forcing a receiver here, to be honest, guys. We're going to grab Aaron Jones as our RB2. The guy who is in Green Bay now with Josh Jacobs, and the guy who used to be in Green Bay, now staying in division, and Aaron Jones. I know a lot of people are concerned about him. I'm not. When he was healthy second half of the season, averaging well over 5 yards per carry. You know, when he was healthy, he was really dominant for fantasy. And I don't think I need to be concerned about the backfield there. I know a lot of people like Ty Chandler. Fair enough. Ty Chandler doesn't concern me. Like he's like the equivalent of, let me think of a good equivalent for Ty Chandler. Like who's an RB2 that I would compare him to? I don't want to say like Elijah Mitchell, because I think he'll get worked more than Elijah Mitchell to CMC. Let me think of like a good RB2. I feel, I guess the way people feel about Trey Benson this year a little bit, but like to a less extent, because Benson's way more talented. Or let's say like this. It's a Dameon Pierce to Joe Mixon. That's how I feel. It's a Dameon Pierce to Joe Mixon. That's actually perfect now that I'm thinking about it. At least it makes sense in my mind. What's up, Cole? Zach, what Bears receiver do you like at their price point? Right now, none, if I'm honest with you. And we actually brought a Flock Fantasy article not too long ago about if you can trust receivers attached to rookie quarterbacks. It's called Avoid This Mistake over on the Flock Fantasy website. And we look into the last, I believe the last 20 years. And you can see how often a rookie quarterback has supported the top 12, 24, 36, or wide receiver 37 onwards finish. I'll just tell you, like, in short, overall, I don't trust rookie quarterbacks to support a receiver. You can point towards CJ Stroud last year, and you can also say, look, Caleb Williams is the best prospect in a long time. He should be better, right? But at the moment, as much as I love DJ Moore, I think he's a buy in Dynasty, but I think he's a fade in redraft. That's the same way I felt about DK to an extent last year. I wasn't drafting DK anywhere in redraft last year. Didn't mean I was out on him, but that's kind of how I feel about DJ. As far as Keenan, the 6th round isn't actually that bad. What I will say is Keenan feels much better in like the 7th round when he's flipped sometimes. And then Rome, I think a 2 wide receiver sets, Rome's not going to play unless Keenan goes down. So you got to be realistic. I think Terry's an easier bet because he is the clear number 1 on his team. And his ADP is much more reasonable than DJ Moore's. But anyway. CB says Gallup had 1 practice with AOC and Mincho and said F this. He said, I'm out of here. The old Antonio Brown exit. That's funny. Style says the 101 is gross. Should have went RB in round 5. This is why we mock. Yeah, the 101, I'll be honest, like at the 101, it always feels like you are reaching. For some reason, at the 112, it doesn't feel that way. The 112 feels like you're pretty consistently getting players in a really good tier. But the 101, it feels like you're always getting players at the beginning of a tier rather than the end, if that makes sense. TiVo snipes me there with a little Raheem Mostert. I love me some Raheem Mostert. Most of y'all know that. We've already got our tight end, so we don't need to look that way. In the 7th round. Okay, yeah, I like this. We'll go ahead and grab one of our breakout predictions in Jackson Smith and Jigba. Because we have such a strong receiver room already, we can afford to make that pick as our 4th receiver. And let's see what happens on the comeback here. Calvin Ridley, another guy I was definitely considering there for my pick. What's up, Lloyd? He says, let's get to 50 likes so we can do a second mock. And where are we right now on our like goal? Let's see. We're currently at 37, so we're actually 13 likes away from a second mock draft. So if you want to see a second mock draft, hit that like button to show some love. It's got to be annoying to hear that, though, right? Like, all right, dude, shut up. We're not going to like the stream. That's why we set the goal, though. You know what, Lloyd? I used to work with a Lloyd. One of my first jobs ever, you guys probably know the store Marshall's In-Home Goods. Marshall's, you know, they basically, like, whatever retailers don't sell enough of, Marshall's gets and sells it cheaper. But I worked in so many different roles, and my last role was loss prevention, which is a crazy world to live in. Some of you might not realize, but there are people who their entire job is stealing from stores. Like, their entire job is shoplifting. It's crazy. They make a career out of it. But I worked with a Lloyd, and he was a cool guy. Lloyd was always really, really cool. Jonathan Brooks is exactly who I was hoping to get at the 805. Another snipe right on your head top, unfortunately. Dang, son. All day. So Jordan Addison goes off the board. I have a tough decision to make here. A very tough decision to make. But we're going to take our boy Zach Moss. at the 805. I am a Zach Moss guy. I do think he is the dude in Cincinnati. I also think Chase Brown's going to get a larger role. Like, there were reports that came out today that Chase Brown's going to get a larger role. Like, yeah, I hope so, because he played behind Travion Williams last year. Like, he wasn't even the third down back for that team. So I wanted to show you guys just quickly. Chase Brown last year had some big plays, was pretty inconsistent. But yeah, I hope the guy's role is going to grow. If you look last year, how do you spell Travion? Oh, I just absolutely nailed that. So if you look last year, Chase Brown ended up with 253 total snaps. But let's get rid of special teams. So with him actually playing the running back position, he ended up with 93 snaps altogether. And it was kind of spread out. They tried to play him a little bit at the beginning of the season. They pulled back. And then you can see, if we take away special teams for Travion Williams, he had 156 snaps. So when they say Chase Brown's role is going to grow, I hope so. I bloody hope so. He had 93 snaps last year. So yeah, I think he's going to end up being like the reliever third down back. That's how I'm projecting it, but I know not everybody agrees, and that's okay. Chase Brown downtown, Badaki says. With Neighbors and Marv, yes sir. Lloyd said, Lloyd is my last name. Tom is my first name. Okay, Lloyd Crafts is your Etsy shop. What kind of crafts do you make, man? Marvin dropped to the 205. Yep, I had to take him, man. Had to take him. Scribble says Kyron made the top 100 list. Guess we shouldn't be surprised. Garrett Wilson did too. A little Elmore surprising due to stats. Yeah, so did they come out with their next round of top 100s? Where's the NFL? Why is it so difficult to find the NFL page? There we go. So they came out with their... Okay, let's have a look then. No spoils. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Wait, 80? Where the heck was 90 to 80? I didn't see... Did anyone see 90 to 80? How about we just do this? NFL top 100 list. I gotta make sure I don't get spammed here. Okay, here we go. 90 to 81. We'll look at that in a second. All right. In the 8th round, we see Watson, Burrow, Pollard, Benson, Spears, Gus, Warren, Coleman, Ferguson, Ford, Cooks, Eckler. And now I'm up here on the clock. And I think this is where I like the idea of taking a shot on a guy like Jameson Williams. 9th round pick. It's not someone I'm relying on in my starting roster. Will be a starter on a very good offense. That's where I like taking a shot on someone like him. All right, let's look at the top 100. We already looked at the top from 100 to 90. So from 90 to 81, they got Baker, Lindstrom, Hassan Reddick, Saquon Barkley at 86. I don't know if y'all been watching Hard Knocks. That's a super... I think Hard Knocks episode 3 is the best Hard Knocks episode I've ever seen. And I don't even like the Giants, but I think it was the best Hard Knocks episode I've ever seen by far. The amount of detail they go into, the behind the curtain look of free agency and the NFL draft and meetings and actual negotiations is absolutely incredible. I was really pleasantly surprised by it. All right, Tristan Wirfs at 85. Damn, he fell far. DK Metcalf at 84. Was Metcalf not ranked last year? That's wild. Derwin James, Montez Sweat, Kirk Thuggins. All right, so who's in the top 70 then? We'll have a look in a second. Yeetman goes Zeke Elliott. I love the Zeke pick. Big fan of that move right there. There goes Chase Brown downtown on your head top. More tune for your head top, eh? All right, there goes Shakir and Tyler Lockett. So we are up on the clock. I already know what Badaki's next pick is, by the way, in case anybody wants to know. I can tell you. Jokes. I'm not gonna ruin his draft. I'm kidding. I'm just joking. We'll grab Curtis Samuel here at the 10:05. All right, so let's look at the top 100 from 80 to 70. They've got Sam Laporta at 80. So he gets some love. Minka is there. Kyron Williams at 78, and they say in his rookie season he only rushed for 139 yards. That changed when he took over as RB1. Yeah, he's a dog. They've also got Trey Hendricks in there, Dre Greenlaw. Justin Herbert falls to 75. Like, what's justifying that fall? That's so weird. Jesse Bates is there, Jeffrey Simmons, Garrett Wilson, and Laramie Tunsil. Yeah, I don't mind it. There goes Quentin Johnston. Quentin Johnston. I don't know if you've seen the latest reports, Badaki. I know you've been on holiday, but the latest reports are that he's battling for wide receiver 4. I don't know if you've seen those reports, brother. This feels like I feel like you're on the year 2 journey of when I was into Treylon Burks, and I want the best for you, but I want the best for you, brother. But yeah, they're saying he's battling for wide receiver 4 right now. I think what happened to me with Treylon Burks is I was like, but he was so good in college. I loved his profile, you know, and I just kept making excuses, and then reports kept coming out, and I was like, nope, I don't believe the reports. And then eventually it was like, you know what, the reports were right. The reports were right. Badaki, I mean, literally just type in Quentin Johnston battling for wide receiver 4 in Google. You'll find it. I promise you. What's up, Scribbles? He says, what are the Cowboys waiting on? Sign Lamb, for God's sakes. He's a top 3 guy in the league. I agree. The wide receiver 3, they say, is DJ Chark. So it's Palmer, Ladd, and Chark. Which, to be honest, it's not surprising at all to me. And I'm not to Badaki either. I know Badaki likes Ladd like me. But it's not surprising for me to see Ladd's already over him. It's not surprising at all. Burks and Chiggs were the future. They were, unfortunately. The next Dynasty Mock is tomorrow, Dominic, on the Dynasty Land Football channel. There goes Jerry Jeudy. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. There's some players that I like to pretend don't exist because I don't want to remember how much I used to love them. Jerry Jeudy is one of those names. Romeo Doubs off the board. And I think at this point, I do like the idea of just getting a little security in the backfield. So we will grab Marshawn Lloyd there to cover off Josh Jacobs. Not a huge fan of the whole handcuff thing if you own the running back, just because I think it limits your upside. But I think if it really is a concern with this team, I won't have to be worried about it. I don't know, Badaki. I don't know what to tell you. Like, everything you're saying is how I felt about Treylon, man. I don't know what to say. Elijah Moore is not... I've never been on Elijah Moore. So, no, Elijah Moore is not a name for me. That's Badaki's guy, but... there are certainly other names. I mean, I'm trying to remember other names for me. Burks is a big one, obviously. I feel like Burks and Jameson are really my big guys that I loved who haven't worked out yet. Trey Lance was a big one too. Yeah. Man, I never understand this strategy of going 2 quarterbacks. It just doesn't make sense to me in a 1 quarterback league. I mean, you spent a 3rd round pick on Mahomes or Hurts, a 4th round on Mahomes. I just don't understand the reason or the rationale to take 2 quarterbacks if you spend such high capital on one, but that's just my opinion. Scribble says, I'm curious why Browns only redid Amari's deal for this year. Why not an extension? I don't know. Maybe they were just trying to make him happier. Happier this year? I don't know. I'm just salty because I wanted one of these 3 quarterbacks to come back to me, and I looked at the board and I thought, there's no way these teams who took quarterbacks super early are going to grab quarterbacks, but I was wrong, obviously, so that's why I'm salty. But again, I don't think it makes any sense, if I'm honest, but that is why I'm being salty about it. But that's fine. We'll grab Brock Purdy here at the 1205. And I'm sure, who else? Badaki probably feels the same way because he has no quarterback either. Same with Tebow. Tebow probably felt the same way as well. Are there still spots for the redraft leagues? Yes, there are. Here's how we're doing the redraft leagues this year, guys. Just so you know, every year we do redraft leagues with our followers. And it's only people who are members on the Flock Fantasy site with the promo code LAND. We have, I believe the Alpha League is already full, like from people who stayed last year. The Bravo League has 2 spots, and the Charlie League has 2 spots. So I believe the way we're going to play this is we're going to raffle off 2 spots to people who are already members, and then from here on out, the first 2 people to sign up to be members on the Flock Fantasy website with the promo code LAND, we will automatically give them a spot. So that's the way we're going to play it this year. So if you are someone out there who hasn't actually signed up to the Flock Fantasy website yet to be a member, then I will go ahead and put a direct link in the chat. You got to be a yearly Mother Flocker member, but I just put that link in the chat. When you sign up, you are also going to get access to, obviously, our rankings for Redraft, Dynasty. You're going to get access to all of our databases, the draft guides, Dynasty models. You're going to get access to the trade calculator, all that. But if you want to be a member, then now's a great time to sign up because you will also automatically get chosen to be in a Redraft league. So if you're someone who wants to get in a league with us, DM us if you sign up, and the first 2 spots, the first 2 people to come knocking, the spots are for you. Lloyd says they're saying Chark is a true X receiver. Cole says trading piece, especially with quarterbacks going down. Look at last year. I guess, but I think in a 1 quarterback league, a lot of people this is what I'll say. Like I've seen people try the strategy before. I've tried the strategy before. Even when quarterbacks go down, people are much more likely to look at the waiver wire than they are to trade for your quarterback for anything worthwhile on their team in a 1 quarterback format. Like, think about it from this perspective. If you had last year, I'm trying to think of a name, like let me grab Josh Downs here. Last year you had a quarterback and someone's quarterback went down, okay? Think about it from this perspective. Are people more likely to pick up Joe Flacco last year? Gardner Minshew last year? Joshua Dobbs last year? Or are they more likely to trade for your 12th round quarterback that you got, you know? So that's the way I look at it personally. In my leagues, if one of my quarterbacks go down, I'm just hitting the waiver wire every week. Who's the waiver wire option? Is Kirk Cousins available with the Falcons? You know, like name a quarterback out there that might be available. Is Gardner Minshew still a good start? How about Matthew Stafford? Is he out there? Is Baker? Is Levis doing his thing? Russell Wilson's a guy I'll put in there. Does Justin Fields actually start at some point. So I just don't think you have the trade power when you double up on quarterbacks that you think you do. But I guess it does depend on your league. And if you guys know your league, you know, and you know that they will trade for a quarterback, then absolutely that makes sense. I just know in my leagues personally, the ones that I'm in, people are much more likely to go to the waiver wire than they are to trade something valuable for your quarterback. Scribble says Zach takes downs in every draft. He's joined the exclusive downs club. Okay, so first off, we got to find a better name for the exclusive downs club. Okay, I'm not sure I want to be associated. I'm joking. All right, it's just a joke. But yeah, look, I am not a Josh Downs guy, but at his price, I will be a fan of any player in fantasy at all if the price is right. Do you know what I mean? Like, if the price is right, I will be a fan of you 100%. And for whatever reason, Josh Downs, people love him in Dynasty, but he goes so low in redraft. So, I mean, I'll take a shot on him. I mean, where did Adonai Mitchell go? He went in the 12th round. Obviously, we had Pittman at the 312. I'll take a shot there. Why not? Man, I really, really love the team that we built here. How many likes are we away from the goal now? Did we reach 50 likes? We did reach 50 likes, which is incredible. Thank you guys for the love, for the support. So we will go ahead and pop off a second mock for you. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 running backs. Let's just get another handcuff here. Someone that we think could be really special if the guy in front of them goes down. Yeah, Ray Davis. We'll grab Ray Davis here. If James Cook goes down, I think Ray could instantly produce, to be honest. He's that good in my opinion. All right, let's set up this next mock draft. Y'all killed it with the like goal. All right, you know what? Let's up the ante then. You guys killed that light goal. Let's up the ante. Speaking of Annie, anybody been watching The Boys? Freaking Annie. You're killing me, Annie. What was he supposed to do? He didn't know it wasn't you. All right. We're going to up the ante here. We'll do a Superflex mock for the Superflex gang. And we'll set another light goal of 75. And if we reach 75, I'll do a third mock. And whatever is the most commented format is what we'll do. So let's up the ante. All right. 75 likes equals a third mock draft. That's up to you guys. All right. 75 likes is now the goal. We've upped the ante. But you did hit the 50 like goal to get a second mock, so that is what we're going to do. And where should I mock from in this Superflex draft? So, like, the most commented spot is where I'll mock from. But just before we do send out the link, I'll let everybody know how they can get in. It's very simple. All you got to do is join the Discord. I'll put a link to the Discord in the chat there. And then when you're in the Discord, you're going to see the Fantasyland tab on the left. Under announcements is where we're going to send the link. The link will be sent here. All right. So that's where the link is going to be sent. So Gator says to mock from the 4. Cole says to mock from the 9. Here, I'll ask Siri. Siri, pick a number either 4 or 9. She picked 44. Shout out to AI, am I right? Let's make it easier on her. Siri, pick a number from 1 to 10. 3. She says 3. That's too simple. Siri, pick another number from 1 to 12. She says 5. Okay, we're going to rock with 5 here. We're going to rock with 5. And I will go ahead and send this link out in the Discord in 3, 2, 1. First come, first serve. Congratulations, everyone, on a great 1 quarterback mock. I'm very happy with the team that we ended up putting together here. Brock Purdy, Jacobs, Jones, Brown, Harrison, Pittman, Neighbors, Jason, Moss, and a bench full of upside, in my humble opinion. But the SFLX Mock is full. This is SFLX. This is PPR. This is Titan Premium. So let's get this thing popping here in 3, 2, 1. Poppin'. Roxanne. All right, so Josh Allen off the board at the 101. I know a lot of people are concerned about him losing Diggs. But, I mean, the guy can rush for 15 touchdowns, you know? Allen's off the board. Mahomes is off the board. I'm getting a little medicated here. But in a healthy way. Okay, so Allen, Mahomes, and Hurts all off the board. My quarterback 4 would not be Stroud in redraft. Let me just double check what my quarterback 4 would be. My quarterback 4 would be Lamar Jackson. So we'll grab Lamar Jackson at the 105. And this is just natural allergy medicine, by the way. I'm not like tripping on acid or anything, just so you guys know, okay? $15 drops. I always guess. I think that was 15. Mr. Tresero Cinco says, my boy, let's go. Fantasy football is back. Saw your video yesterday on the draft strategy one. Fire. I appreciate you, my man. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support there. Badaki says he's next to Macy. Macy, we had a talk, okay? We had a talk on recent live streams. You know what I'm referring to. Just don't push them too far up the board, all right? You know who I'm talking about. We all know who we're talking about, all right? Don't put them ADPs up too high, okay? Lloyd says, gonna do my best to snipe you, Zach. Dan says, I just joined the flock. How do I get you guys to review my dynasty team? Dan, did you join, as in, did you become a yearly member with the promo code LAND? Let me know. I'll walk you through the steps. Because if you did, you should have a voucher, and I'll walk you through how to take advantage of that. Just hopefully you signed up with the code LAND. Otherwise, we got to have a different convo there. Style says, hot take, Josh Allen breaks a single season rushing touchdown record for quarterbacks. I like it. Dominic says, Allen was #1 with Diggs falling out of the team's plans halfway through the year. I agree. Cole says, how do we enter the raffle for the redraft league spot if we are already a member? Guys, what I will do, and actually I will do this when the stream ends. Give me like 10 minutes and I'll post a link in announcements. Actually, I can't post it in announcements because everyone can see it. So instead of posting it in announcements, because only members can sign up for this, what I'll do is I'll post it in mock drafts, okay? I'll just say after this. Oh, no, but that's okay. I'm going to be more specific. I'll post it at Fantasy Hotline Setup. This is where only our members can see. Okay, y'all ready? So this is where I'll post it. I'll post a link to join the redraft league raffle after the stream here. All right. If you're a member and you've connected your Discord on the Flock Fantasy site, you will have access to the Fantasy Hotline setup. Okay. I will post a link here for you to get a chance to be a part of the league. Let me know if that makes sense. I don't know if I clearly communicated that or not. All right, here I am with my first pick, or my second pick. And with our second pick, we're going to grab A.J. Brown at the 208. Has to be annual. I just did monthly. Yes, Dan, it does have to be manual or annual. And just being honest with you guys, the reason we had to make that change is because we had so many people signing up for a monthly membership, and then they would just cancel after the first month and get a review for cheaper than every other member. Like, it's not fair to our annual members. And we just had so many people taking advantage of that system, and they were doing it for every creator on the site, that we just had to say, okay, if you're going to be a member, you have to be annual in order to get a team review. We didn't want to have to do that, but it's just unfortunately something that we had to do. But you need to be an annual mother flocker. Okay. Now, the other option, if you do want to just stay a monthly member, is you can do the a la carte store. Now, you'll see a button on the website, Dan, if this is the route you prefer. You'll see a button on the website right here. Okay, this little button here. And if you click on that button, it will allow you to go to the trade review section. And once you submit all the information here, what team you want us to look at, make sure that your draft picks are correct, you know, look through them, enter your Discord name and whatever information you want us to know. When you click continue, you'll see Zach and Badaki here, and you will get a discount if you're a member. So that is the other option, but please let me know if you have any other questions or if I didn't explain anything well. I appreciate you, Macy. Appreciate you, Mace. All right, so after AJ, we see Nakua, Purdy, Wilson, Marvin, Taylor, Herbert, Evans, all off the board. And by the way, Dan, if you wanted to just switch to be an annual member, I mean, we think it's the best bang for your buck. If you wanted to make that switch, I'll grab Jaden Daniels here. Perfect. You can do that, I believe, in your account. All right. So you can switch it to being an annual mother flocker. But no pressure. Those are the two options there. So I go Jackson, Brown, Daniels. If Daniels is available in the third round, I will take him every single time in a Superflex league. Then we see Caleb Williams. How did Badaki start? Badaki started with Burrow and Kyler. A little Joey B and Kyler action. I like that start from him. Sunraker says, you basically get a review, then tons of extra stuff, well worth the price. Yeah, exactly. The annual, when you're an annual member, you're going to get access to everything on the site. All the articles, all the databases, rankings, trade calculator, the My Teams beta, and even more features that will come out here soon. So yeah, it is the best bang for your buck. And by the way, if anybody out there is watching and you guys want your team reviewed, maybe you're not in a dynasty league, that's actually okay. We also review redraft leagues, okay? So if you want to also get a team review, I'll put a link in the chat for you guys. If you want to unlock our rankings, I'll put a link in the chat. And let me know if you guys have any cues at all there. All right, so Tom goes Caleb Williams at the 306. Then we see Saquon at the 307. What a start for Cole. If Cole can piece together a quarterback room, this could be deadly. J-Mac goes Stroud, Jefferson, Lawrence. D. Macy goes Chase, Love, London. Badaki gets Burrow, Murray, and Collins. Yeetman has Amon-Ra and Bijan. Let's see how he plays this out now. Gator says, do you think it's a reach for Evans there? I do think it's slightly a reach for Evans, just because if you think about it from a one quarterback perspective, he's probably, I mean, not going very far after that. Yeah, he goes at the 301. So if you think about it from that perspective, like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 quarterbacks off the board already. Before you took Evans in this league, we only had one. So it's probably like maybe a round too early. I would say Saquon was probably the better pick than a Mike Evans, but that's just my opinion. That doesn't mean I'm right. It's just how I feel. Bridleton says, I just accidentally advanced my week and lost to USC in the third week of the bowl. No, so you accidentally send college football playoffs? That's devastating if I'm understanding that correctly. Yeah, that's... I hate it when I accidentally sim. I absolutely hate it. All right, Durka Henry off the board at the 404. I actually like that pick for sure. J-Max got Stroud Lawrence here. Yeetman does go with his first quarterback in Tua tags. We see Brandon Ayuk off the board. And what is Cole thinking here? What is Cole thinking? He goes with ETN. Okay, that is a very interesting strategy. 3 running backs in the first 4 picks. I guess just letting the board fall to you. I want to see the rest of this team filled out, though. I'm curious to see what it will look like. Okay, so there goes Rodgers. And that's perfect. I was hoping for Kyron Williams to fall to me. He does. I feel like I was able to grab a wide receiver that I think has top 6 upside and a running back that I think has RB1 overall potential. Not saying he will finish RB1. I think he has that potential. Burrow, Kyler, Collins, Waddle for Badaki there. Spencer's loving his start as well. There goes Devon Achane. Achane. I wish it was Achane, but it's Achane. He goes off the board at the 411. Lots of news to follow along with on the old Twitter sphere today. Lots of action happening. Coach Speak Index doing his thing. It's now been confirmed CD's holding out for a new deal. That's not a surprise, I think, to any of us. All right, we see Achan, McBride, Diggs, and Neighbors. Hi, hiddly ho, Neighbors. We also see Andrews off the board. Rashad White comes off the board next. Ooh, y'all have made this a difficult decision for me. Y'all have made this a difficult decision. Well, I got my tight end 2 available here. We'll grab Travis Kelce at the 505 in a tight end premium format. A little Travis Kelce in the 5th round. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. May I have another? May I have another? All right. I want everyone to tell me in the chat, who's your dark horse? Let's say dark horse wide receiver 1. And when I say dark horse, let's clarify. You cannot tell me Garrett Wilson is your dark horse wide receiver 1. No, that's not a dark horse. Okay, that's just a guy who's going to get a high target share from hopefully a healthy Aaron Rodgers. Okay, a true dark horse means you're going to have to tell me someone who's being drafted outside of the top 8 at the wide receiver position that you think has wide receiver 1 upside. Okay. So again, don't be commenting down below. I think AJ Brown's a dark horse. I think it might be Garrett Wilson. No, doesn't count. I will not accept that answer. Okay, so let's see. Lloyd says, just jinxed myself. You sniped me on Kelce and Daniels so far. I'm sorry, Lloyd. All right, so dark horse wide receiver 1 finish. We've got London, which I don't mind that. DK Metcalf. You know what? That's spicy. That's spicy. I mean, it should be spicy because it's a dark horse, you know. But if the offense really changes the way they think it's going to, that's spicy right there. Badaki says Nico, and so does Dominic and Daniel. Or Daniel goes London. Sorry, but yeah, I think Nico's a popular one too, and it makes sense. He was so good last year. You know what? If Diggs didn't join Houston, we're probably seeing Nico Collins. Is Nico Collins like a back into the first, early second round pick? Scribble says, can it be contingent on injury ahead of them, like Waddle with Tyreek? Yeah, I mean, why not? Why not? Style says Pickens. I like that as a real deep pool. Olave Garden, okay. Chris Olave. Debo, especially if Ayuk gets traded. Good shout, Lloyd. Sunraker says Neighbors. Okay. Original Eric says Olave. All right. So there goes Pickens off the board. I'm sure that probably hurt Macy to not take Pickens there. Incredible patience from Daniel Macy. I have to say, it has to be said. So here was my big dilemma last round. My big dilemma last round was whether to take Debo Samuel or Travis Kelce. I went with Travis Kelce because there was a premium. But I will say, the way this board has fallen, I wish I went Debo because I would have still had Kittle or Ingram as an option here at this pick. So I will say, in hindsight, not a huge fan of the decision I made. But we will still grab Tank Dell here as our wide receiver 2. Adam says, ultra dark horse, Terry McLaurin. Oh. Imagine if Jane Daniels is just an absolute god straight away. Could Terry McLaurin just go absolutely psycho? That would be cool. Scribble says, I could see Cooper as a dark horse. Okay. Chris Godwin. Yeah, Chris Godwin. I do like Chris this year. All right, so in the 6th round, we see Stafford as the only quarterback. And DD had to make sure they got their quarterback too. We still have a couple teams who, I mean, one that has no quarterback and a couple who have one. Not once Ayuk gets traded to the Commanders. I'm believing. I'm speaking it into life. Let's bring Ayuk to Washington, baby. Then Ayuk would be the dark horse, right? But he says QJ. Oh, no. Keep sipping on it, brother. Just keep sipping on the juice. We see Zay Flowers come off the board at the 7:03. Then Baker Mayfield. Jeez, not a huge fan of the receivers available here. So we probably will switch our actions up a little bit. We're going to grab Ken Walker at the 7:05 as our running back 2. Just not a huge fan of the receivers available there. Original Eric says, super dark horse, Neighbors, Giants have no one else. Yeah, I like that. I like that as a super duper dark horse. All right, so Deontay Johnson comes off the board. Same with Chris Godwin. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Up in ya, up in ya. What a steal for J-Mac. Again, I feel so sick knowing that I could have taken Kittle at the 7:05. This team could have had Debo Samuel and Tank Dell, and it could have had George Kittle. I'm sick to my stomach. I'm sick to my stomach. Gator says, where do you draw the line this year on who you're fine having as your quarterback 2 in Superflex? Why don't I tell you that once they come off the board? Just because I know there are certain people who are deploying certain strategies. So it might be best for me to wait to answer that question, Gator, until everybody's gotten their QB2. I just don't want to spoil it for anyone. If you get what I'm saying. All right, Sleeper is really glitching out here. That was strange. Jaden Reed is a pick. Marquise Hollywood Brown. Oh my God. If Hollywood Brown finishes as a wide receiver 1, that would, like, I think all of the fantasy community would probably lose their minds, including me. I would probably lose my mind. I would be like, are you kidding me? All right. So we've got Geno Smith, who comes off the board at the 802. Then Rashee Rice, Ladd McConkey. I was hoping to get Ladd, but, you know, if Macy's in the draft, I just got to know. I just got to know that sometimes my guys won't be available. And I have to be okay with that. I have to be okay with that. Ladd's off the board. J-Mac, who, again, I think had an incredible start here. Someone is going to get, like, the steal of the draft in a second. I don't know who it is. I don't want to spoil anything. But someone is being handed a gift. I see 2 huge gifts on the board, personally. All right, I am up. We see Brooks. Deshaun Watson was one of them. Like, there's no world we should have let Cole get Deshaun Watson in the 8th round in a Superflex league, guys. Cole should have been punished for his transgressions. And we let him get Deshaun Watson in round 8. That is mental. Absolutely mental. We're going to grab JSN as our wide receiver 3 here. And Evan Ingram, I mean, I don't love the idea of stacking up on tight ends. I thought 369 was about to get Evan Ingram, but the 3 guys that I can't believe lasted till the 8th round, maybe Brooks makes a lot of sense because it's super flex, but Ingram and Watson, I just thought those were ridiculous values on the board where they were being drafted. The team is looking spicy, Cole. I can't believe we let you pull this off. Zach Moss at the 8-11. Adam says, I also don't like 2 tight ends, but couldn't pass them up. I get that. I get that. Original Eric, by the way, punted on running backs early. Gets Swift and Connor late. Man, I really loved James Conner last year. I thought it was a huge value. It feels like he's not really going that much later this year. With Trey Benson there, I just don't know, man. I don't know what conviction I have. Tough. Real tough. Gus the Bus comes off the board, then Raheem Mostert. Xavier Worthy. That's perfect. That's absolutely perfect because we were hoping to get DeAndre Hopkins as our wide receiver 4. So I will grab D-Hop there. And really liking the way this team is filling out so far. Big fan so far. Roma Dunze off the board. Keenan Allen at the 8-10. I kind of like that, you know. That's not bad at all. Lloyd says another snipe. I'm sorry. Adam says he was debating between D-Hop or Worthy. Okay. Okay, guys. We let Cole do this to us. Cole just smacked us in the mouth and we said thank you. Can I have another? Incredible. Incredible. Okay, so Badaki says don't do it, Macy. There's someone that Badaki wants and he doesn't want to get sniped. I bet you Watson probably was the name there, if I were to guess. Eatman says, do you like my team? Yeah, not bad. Not bad. I like the squad as well, Yeetman. It's nice. Dominic says he was debating between Calvin and D-Hop. I think Calvin's probably who I'll take first if I'm in that position. But overall, I'd like to position myself to take whoever goes second. Do you know what I mean? So if I see Calvin and D-Hop on the board and I know I'm coming... It's tough because you were on the edge, so you knew neither would come back to you. But typically, if I can, I'd like to make someone else make the decision for me. Just take the leftovers. All right, we see Ferguson, Coleman, Hawkinson, Addison, Carr, all off the board. All right, Bowers at the 10:04. I love it, Macy. Really, really like that. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that pick. Okay, let's see. What are we thinking for our next pick here? There goes B-Rob. Okay. Oh, what we thinking? What y'all cooking up in the kitchen? They got me cooking in the kitchen. All right, yeah. Cole goes Watson, Levis, and then Eckler. I thought maybe he would get a third QB just to cover himself off. He decides to pass for now. Jamison Williams comes off the board. To be honest, I'm kind of not obsessed with anyone here. So we will grab our third quarterback before we're unable to. I think what we'll do is we'll grab Bryce Young here and bet on the second-year breakout with his new receivers and Deontay Johnson, Xavier Legette, Jonathan Brooks. I always like to lock up a third quarterback if I can. If you hit on a third quarterback, see, this is where, in contrary to a one quarterback league, quarterbacks do have immense trade value. Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Pollard and Warren also come off the board. We see Danny Dimes. No surprise there. I thought those guys would probably start coming off the board. Trey Benson. Yeah, definitely was hoping Trey Benson might come back to me. Maybe I should have prioritized him then and hit a quarterback on the comeback. Shout out to Kim K. Dallas Goedert, I like the pick. Goddard's a fantastic option. Ooh, although there was another name I liked a little bit more, but tough call. There goes Russell Wilson. So Russell Wilson off the board. And we're going to grab Tajay Spears as our third running back. Tony Pollard goes on the 10-9. Hey, if this Titans offense is actually good. I mean, there could be some big value in drafts. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got D-Hop going late. You got Calvin going late. You got Pollard going late. Spears. You've got Levis going late. If that offense is good, and that's the question, will it be good? Will it be a good offense? Could be some value. Definitely could be some value there. All right, we did reach our like goal of 75 likes. I'm not going to lie. I started getting tired, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm ready to end the stream. But I got to hold up my end of the bargain. You guys hit the like goal. I don't know how did we hit 75 likes when there's like 40 people watching? I don't know how that's even possible. Do we have people who are making second accounts? Y'all are crazy. All right, well, let's set a completely unrealistic like goal. 150 likes equals fourth mock. All right, you would have to literally double it. So to everyone out there who's making fake accounts, you'll have to double the amount of fake accounts you're making. I don't understand how we hit 75. I thought 75 was unrealistic. We didn't have that many people watching. But all right, 150 likes is the next goal. I don't think we'll get there. I'm actually begging you, don't get there. Please do not get to 150 likes. I want to go eat lunch. All right, so we see Cole Kmet off the board at the 11. Make a wish. Then Joshua Arnie Palmer, Brandon Cooks. You're killing me, Smalls. Instant regret, yes. Titans upside is undeniably good if they turn out good for their value this year. Yeah, I agree. Big time agree. All right. I'm glad I got my third quarterback when I did, because it is getting pretty thin. It's getting pretty thin at the position now. As Shakira off the board at the 12:04. 2 rounds later than Curtis Sammy. And where's Keon? Where did Keon go? Where the heck did Keon Coleman get drafted? Have I lost my mind here? Sorry, is he still on the board? Oh no, there he is. He goes at the 9-11. Okay, so 9-11, 10-03, and the 12-04. I got a pick I'd very much like to make here. So, Tom, if you can please not snipe me, that would be much appreciated. Perfect. We're going to take Ezekiel Elliott. I got a video coming out tomorrow for you guys. And it's titled, Running Backs I'm Not Going to Leave a Draft Without. And as crazy as it sounds, Zeke is on that list. I know he's old, guys. But think about what Gus Edwards did last year in Baltimore. I see no reason why Zeke can't do the same. I see no reason why Zeke can't fall into 10 touchdowns this year. He's been one of the better goal line running backs in all of football. Tony Pollard was one of the least efficient goal line running backs last year. Tony Pollard and Zeke scored the same amount of touchdowns inside the 5-yard line as each other, but Tony Pollard got 10 more attempts at it. Zeke is still very good on the goal line. So, by the way, I'm waiting for Sleeper to change Joe Burrow's image. Where's Joe Burrow? So this is Joe Burrow's image right now. And If they said if this post gets 2,000 likes, we'll change this to Joe Burrow's profile pic. And we're waiting on the update now. We're waiting on the update. I mean, I'm just Ken vibes. I'm just Ken. Ugh. Too Shiesty says, I don't know what quarterback to take this year. So many good players. There are quite a few good quarterbacks this year for sure. I'm with you. All right, look, I have like no conviction whatsoever on the name I'm about to draft, but in the 13th round, in round 13, Javonte Williams, what is the harm in taking, like, I have literally no risk attached to that pick. This is my 5th running back on my team. I don't need anything from Javonte. So, yeah. I mean, I will take on that 13th round risk for everyone else. I mean, if he was going in like the 9th round, hell no. You know, if he's going around Mostert and Najee and Moss. But in the 13th round, I mean, what is the... What's the reason to be scared? You know, don't be scared. And unfortunately for Badaki, Quentin Johnston is snapped from his team by Cole. So that's unfortunate for Badaki there. Gator says, did I miss? Okay, so who am I comfortable having as my quarterback 2 in fantasy football Superflex leagues this year? Why don't I go to my redraft rankings for you? And I'll pull that up. So for me, here's where I would draw the line. Ideally, I want a Kirk Cousins, Stafford, Geno, Deshaun Watson, Baker. Those are kind of like where my cutoff is. I don't really want Levis as my quarterback 2. I'd rather have him as a 3rd. Same with Jones, Carr, May, Young, Minshew, Russ. So I think the cutoff is really like the Baker, Watson, Smith, Stafford, Rodgers, Cousins range. That's really the range I think my cutoff would be in. All right, so Pat the Dragon off the board. Then Franklin, O'Connell, Mitchell, Fields, Dobbins. I wonder if Badaki's going to do what I think he's going to do here. Let's see. Let's see. I'm just Ken. All right, so Kendre Miller comes off the board. All right, so Badaki goes to Lloyd. And then Jaleel McLaughlin comes off the board. How in the world are we at 79 likes? That makes no sense at all. How did you guys do that? Jermaine Burton off the board. Malachi Corley off the board. We'll grab Xavier Legette. Oh, y'all didn't let me get the Carolina stack. You did. You let me get the Bryce Young, Xavier Legette stack? You shouldn't have done that. Ricky Pearsall off the board. Here goes Gabe Davis, Wandale Robinson. We're hunting wabbits. It's crazy how, like, running back every round felt like a value. From, like, round 4 onwards, it felt like running backs were, like, values. It's kind of interesting how this all happened. All right, so Tyrone Tracy comes off the board. All right, look, I'll be 100% honest with you guys. I actually need to go have lunch with my wife. I didn't think you guys would hit the like goal of this next one, so here's what I'm going to do. The next time we mock, I promise you we'll do an extra mock the next live stream, okay? I'm so sorry. I didn't think we would hit that goal. Hopefully that's okay. Hopefully you're not going to be angry at me. Romeo Dobbs, we'll grab Jerry Jeudy as our last pick here. And we feel pretty good about the team. We feel pretty good about the team we were able to put together here. Like I said, I promise you the next time we do a live stream, we'll get a second mock because you hit the goal today. Sorry we couldn't do it today. But I would rather disappoint you guys than my wife. And hopefully that's understandable. But great stream, guys. I appreciate all the love. I appreciate all the support. Tomorrow night, I am going to be live on the Dynasty channel. If you want to come hang out, I'll put the link in the chat if you're not subscribed. Skylar says, just make me your wife. We will be live tomorrow doing a Dynasty startup draft over there. And maybe reviewing some people's teams. If we have some team reviews available. That is, but I appreciate y'all big time. Again, thank you so much for hanging out with me. You know, you can spend your time doing a lot of other things. I appreciate that you spent it hanging out with me. So I appreciate you guys. I'll see you on the next stream. So much love. Have a great rest of your night.